Lori Bradshaw,
Here.
Charles Trammell,
Here.
Shropshire.
Here. Discuss and possibly approve the minutes of the May 13th, 2025 meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. I
Been-
forgot. I have to jump in on this
Motion
one.
and seconded. Call for the vote. Or do we have any discussion first?
No.
We were all here. Okay, call for the vote.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes. Okay, mayor's report. Mr. Mayor.
All right, so we don't have our tax reports yet. We're a little early on that. But I do want to go ahead and give just some updates on things as where we stand outside of that. Most of you got, not most of you, all of you got the May preliminary financials. If you go down to, that line that we all look at, we go straight to page 13, bottom of the page, see what we're at. We look pretty good. We know that there's some things in there that we have talked about the last 6-7 months that we know are gonna, cause us some concern in the next fiscal year. Namely, it goes to the workman's comp, things like that, things that are just based on what's happened. And so you'll see those numbers through there. As the year is, we're at 92% of the fiscal year elapsed. Most of our departments are still under 92% of their budget used. So they're looking pretty good. But when we got the February, April, March numbers, there was a lot of confusion on the preliminary numbers versus final numbers, and this was wanky and that didn't match. And, oh my gosh, nothing seemed to be mathing. And if you look at these, I think these look a lot more like what we all suspected. Net revenue over expenditures, period to date, 131,257, with our year to date being 137.41 under. Tremendous work. By no means are we, as we say, rolling in the dough or living the life, but that is where we thought we would be, pretty flat at the end of the year. That's the direction we want to be. That's the direction we want to be heading. A year ago this time, we were not even close to that number. So what got taken care of? What have we been addressing? What are we looking at? You may know this already, but I'm going to say it anyways. We've sat down with Hannah, some of the council members. We've sat down with Jeff. Jeff got a detailed general ledger printed out the other day. That's 1,799 pages of general ledger for him to go through and look at and make sure things are done correctly. We found that there was an entire payroll that had been duplicated on the general ledger. Let me be very clear, not paid out duplicate, but duplicated on the general ledger. 99% of the issues that we're finding are Cassell-based general ledger clerical issues. So they've been working tremendously hard. I want to give a little special thanks. I don't know if he wants it or not. Hannah's husband is a financial controller, and he's been helping her kind of sort through things as a spouse, not for the city, but as a spouse, helping her get some clarity on some things, see some things. Jeff brought some things to light. We've sat down with Mrs. Blue. We have contacted Cassell. Cassell is going to do a general ledger cleanup from February till current.
February 25?
25, where we saw that issue. So they've requested a most current bank statement. They're going to get in there. They're going to get things. They're just going to get all the crap cleaned up, make sure that it's all good. Once they get caught up, then we are going to employ them to come on site and help Hannah and her clerks figure out how to get things rolling the way they were and the way that they need to be. So
if they start in February 25, if any errors occurred before that, will they catch that?
Probably not.
they will be able to see if something builds up to that. So they'll see, hey, we're here, but something back here isn't right. Jeff's instruction was whatever is wrong from previous years or closed, and I think you heard this, if it is a closed book, i.e. 24, 23, 22, 17, 5, 99, it doesn't matter, or if it's December, do not reopen that book and fix it back then. Leave it closed and fix it now. Because what happens is every time you close a month, and I think this is probably what we saw with the previous situation, I'm just going to say that, then it doesn't put it on any one person or thing, is that we would find an error, and then we would try to go back to where that error was created and fix it there, but the books were closed. And so once we fix that, everything after that is now thrown off. So in Jeff's examples, he said, if you have a check that from 2017 and that check needs to be voided because it was never cashed, whatever it is, don't go into 2017 and void that check, because then that will throw off 2018, 2019, and so on to
It's
where we
wrong.
are today. Void it today, and it will not create that problem. And then upload to the general ledger. That's, I think what I'm getting at, and I know you guys understand this, I just want to make sure that anybody that's listening understands. This has been a very intricate process of sitting down together with level heads, trying to figure out where the problems are and how we can fix them and how we can address them. And I think we're starting to see some direction. And I think you guys will agree that's kind of what we're getting to. We're starting to see, here's probably where it is. And I think as we get those issues cleaned up little by little, we're finding that our numbers are looking more what we mentally calculated them to be and where we planned on them to be, and that we weren't really that far off as we were like, hey, that doesn't look right. I know we had a couple council meetings where some of the council members, you guys were, like looking at the numbers going, something's wrong. I think we can all agree, we were right, something was wrong. And so we're not there yet. We're not perfect. But we're working together cohesively with level heads, and we're knocking out the problem. That said, we're sitting down with the departments 2 at a time, and we're going to start working through budgets. I talked today a little bit with Frank about his capital needs, so that when that meeting is ready for Thursday with Frank and Carrie, we have a good understanding of what he needs versus what we can do, what we want, where we're at. I also sat down and I talked with Chief Cantrell today. One of the big things there, and I'm not saying this is the route we're going to go, but in talking with banks that do a lot of our lending, a lot of our loans for our fleet, last year we bought 3 cars and it was $200,000 by the time we were all said and done. One of the things that we've discussed looking into, we have set out, reaching out for a meeting, is with Enterprise. Several other communities, such as Tahlequah, use Enterprise for fleet management. And so Enterprise will spec out, for example, law enforcement vehicles that they have in their fleet that are the Tahoes, the trucks, the things that we're buying. They have those in their fleet. And for you set let's say we want 6 vehicles. They give you a price, and I'm giving arbitrary numbers, so don't quote me on this. 6 vehicles, $50,000 a year. They will spec those out. They will deliver them how we've ordered them. And if one of them goes down, they pull the stripes off of it, they bring in a new one, put the stripes back on it, and we move on. It would also allow us, under those agreements, if we had a maintenance truck or something go down, that would be on that contract, that we would just add one lease to it, and it wouldn't be the full purchasing. So one of the things that the advantage of this gives us is at the end of the life cycle of what we have per mileage, we lease them out by the miles. So it would be, let's say we do law enforcement vehicles for 88,000 miles. At that 88,000 miles, Enterprise is gladly going to take that car, take everything that we've ordered off of it, they're going to take it to their yard, and they're going to sell it to another company. Then they're going to bring us a new one. And we keep that going.
Did they take care of the maintenance?
Yeah, so there's some minor maintenance, and I will get those details when we meet with them, but that would be a much cheaper option rather than just outright buying vehicles that we're fully responsible for. And at the end, we purple wave them and get what we can out of them.
Would we have to carry insurance, or would the
Yeah,
enterprise?
you have to have insurance.
The insurance would be basically as it is now. I mean, we've got other vehicles that we've leased.
We would have to insure those ourselves.
Yeah, we would still have to insure them since we're the user of them, but that's minimal. You bring up insurance. One of the things we're doing with the departments is going through as we looked at the vehicles that we have premiums on. I think we have some cleaning up to do there. I noticed the other day when I looked, there was it was like a 2004 Chevy Malibu. We haven't had that Malibu for about a year and a half, so we want to make sure that that's cleaned up. May seem like minimal, but a couple $100 here, a couple $100 here is a couple $1,000 every year. So they've been instructed, correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, to get me VIN numbers, plate numbers of all of the cars that they have so that we can match those up, and then also make sure that we have paper insurance cards in every vehicle. So it's just kind of cleaning up the fleet, making sure that we're prepared should there be whatever. But I think the idea is that we're looking at these little things, and when I talked to Chief about that today, he said, absolutely not off the table. I'll entertain it if it saves us money. So we're going to try to set up a meeting with Enterprise in the next week or two. I met with them last year in August. It was like a fire hose of information, but we kind of rekindled that a little bit, and we're like, maybe that's something we could look at and save some more money rather than, taking out large payments for minimal vehicles. So we'll see. We'll get that to you when we do. But the idea is that we're reviewing those things. We're looking going forward on what we can do to just continue to clean up our budget, pull things that can go to the bond payments out of capital or wherever, make sure that we've got all of that lined up. It's just a process. So that said, do you guys have any questions? Again, sorry I don't have tax numbers yet. That's out of my control.
Might as well stay there, huh?
And that's pretty much also the item number 5 as well. So
Yeah,
and number 6. So I'm okay if you want to jump to number 7.
okay. All right, number 7, I know of no unforeseen business. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Joy, can I ask for clarification on?
Sure.
Did you say that preliminary May numbers show us,
I'll show it to you.
I'd just like to ask the question, revenues exceed expenses?
Revenues exceed expenditures by 131,000. Year to date, they do not.
And the number at the end of March,
Was much higher.
we were 300,000 below.
Right, and we had some things in the general ledger and stuff that we have gotten cleaned up.
$400,000.
Yeah.
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
You want to copy that page here?
Is this the May?
This is okay. I'll make you a copy of that file.
But those are preliminary, Terry.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah,
Those are still preliminary.
Right,
May, that's,
clerical stuff is $400,000.
Well, when you have duplicated payroll, well, payroll is almost $200,000-300,000, so it doesn't take much to add that up, so. Yes, and the list of things that we've been working on are, well, I say we, it's collective, so.
it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. That's an accounting term.
you can quote him on that.
Official?
official,
All right, let's end
official
this meeting.
accounting term.
Yeah, I think the message, the takeaway here is that we're aware of the issue, and we're at this point, we're
Working on it.
proactively working with Cassell to clean it up.
Waiting
I mean-
on an adjournment.
But we're confident that that's good numbers.
No,
No, but it's
These are
closer.
preliminary, but this is more along lines of where mental math with preliminaries. This is more in tune with what we foresaw us being at.
If you think about it, we cut, and we're still
Almost done.
behind, and then now that they're finding out where the real numbers are, we're not as far behind, actually, a little bit ahead of where we thought we were.
Did
So,
we ever get April? Was there ever April numbers?
I don't think
Those are,
they're
we
I
still
think
have
they're still
preliminary.
preliminary as
they're
well.
preliminary.
Yeah, nothing's finalized on April yet.
I don't think you're gonna see anything until Cassell gets
Yeah.
done working their thing at this point.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Motion made and seconded, call for the vote.
Trammell,
yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw.
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned, thank you.